Before I was only teaching in-person classes, so now I definitely feel like I have the confidence to teach online, and I have done some classes online. So it's just, I feel like it's opened up the world for me. And now I'm thinking not just classes, teaching classes, but how I can do on-demand classes instead of just the live classes. And I was thinking, okay, now I can do, I haven't started yet, but I'd like to get into the teaching at guilds live, with Zoom. And before I'd only been in person. And I would had never have gotten into these international quilting events, recording a workshop. So that has opened a door for me, and because I have that international experience kind of in my resume, I recently reached out to a distributor for quilt patterns, and they accepted my patterns for the EE Shank. So gonna have national distribution of my patterns. And I feel like it helped having all these different experiences and breadth. And when I reached out to the companies, they kind of want to know how I'm advertising or how I'm promoting my patterns. So when I can say I teach online classes now too, and I'm part of these international quilting events, I think that really helps a lot. So I feel like I'm kind of taking off all of a sudden because of your class. So it's been great. So I would say I had planned to expand my in-person teaching at guilds. And so far this year, I had just in, I think it was March and April, I went to 5 different guilds, and I was excited for the events, but as I'm traveling, I'm like, this is a lot. I mean, some were overnights, and I'm like, this is a lot of time for like a 2-hour event. So I feel like if I'm able to do those online, it frees up a ton of time. It could be 1 or 2 days of time, but I'm not traveling because sometimes I had to drive, 5, 6 hours, and some overnights, like I say, I was, going to different states around me. So it really freed up it will free up a lot more of my time now if I can start doing those um, online instead of in person. After your class, I launched an on-demand class. Actually, with this butterfly, I have an on-demand class, and then I also have I hosted 2 live Zoom classes. But it was a really good experience. I thought it went really well. The lady said they had a great time. So I got really good feedback afterwards, and yeah, it went really good. And I also, after your class too, I was part of Tour de Fabric. So as international quilting thing. So I recorded a workshop for that. And then there's another workshop coming up, another international one called Quilter's Paradise. And just last week, I recorded my workshop for that. And I'm still in the middle of editing it. So yeah, the class was so helpful. The practical, the lighting and the sound and the Zoom. I attended a lot of Zoom classes, but I hadn't hosted. So it was a whole different experience, hosting and recording and editing. And I feel like the world's opened up for me now that I can teach online and I'm feeling more comfortable with it. I go to guild meetings, and I do a presentation that I have, a quilt, junk show, and then a presentation on how I design my patterns. And I couldn't visualize how you would do it remote, but then I attended a couple of remote trunk shows, and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. You show pictures. Because I was envisioning just trying to walk around the room with my quilts hung up, and I was like, how do you do that? But then they just showed pictures, and they could zoom in and show different pictures, and basically a PowerPoint that they could zoom in. So I'm like, well, now I can offer that too. So yeah, I think it's been a really good experience. For me, it was just the technology, the whole, how to host a Zoom meeting, how to do the editing of the things. I wasn't sure what I needed to set up my space. So I usually record just on my camera, like you recommend. I use my laptop, so I have a bigger screen that I can see, people on there. Um, I added a few lights, but not even, a lot. So just learning how to set up my space, because I didn't know any of that. I didn't know, you don't know what you don't know. And so just listening to how you can get by with not a lot of stuff was really good. Um, and learning, I guess some of it was on my own, learning how to host it on my website, how to host classes, but just getting over the technology and the Zoom and how to prepare, what to do the day before, and just all the tips and tricks you gave. Some of it was interesting that when you talked about some of the problems that you encountered while you were teaching, it kind of gives you a heads up like, oh, I need to be thinking about how I would handle that. And so that all that little thing was helpful too. If you can't get a connection, okay, what can you try next? Or, just different things that might come up against that I can be thinking about. So yeah, for me, the biggest thing was just the technology, getting over that, how to do it, like where to start. I feel like more and more and more my time has been going toward the marketing of my patterns, and I want to spend more time designing my patterns this coming year. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. That's what this last year, the distributor too asked how many patterns I released this last year. I'm like, okay, I was spent more on promoting this last year and teaching, and so I only launched maybe two. So I'm just really excited for this next year to really focus on designing more. So I'm excited.